Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, we're using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. For the supportive Oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Okay. There's a very fun energy coming in with this. Okay, what does that mean? There's a very fun... Okay. Alright, so your cards so far are pretty good. Your cards, I like your cards. Let's see how the environment goes. That reminds, like this... Alright, so there's like this complicated energy here. Now this is all down here. Now there's residual leftover energy. There's a residual energy. This all how many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. What's setting the stage that the situation already contained before you stepped into it. You got the Queen of Swords, the Devil, the Six of Coins, the Three of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the World, and what's the last one? The Tower. So I'm already getting like there's a lot of people who just seem to combat. Like I know is there only two? Well, the Devil feels like one. There's the third, but I also feel like the World is a fourth. Like there's people like arguing over things. People arguing over things. I know there's a lot here, but I feel like this is saying people are arguing over things. And the Tower card especially, because it seems like it's all coming from this Tower. Like, things aren't going exactly how they should be. Things are falling in or kind of imploding a little bit, and these people are, like, fighting over things. Like, there's, like, this martyrdom. I feel like there's this martyrdom of somebody just kind of being like, oh, I do so much and get so little. I feel that whiny attitude. Almost added a little word in there. Martyrdom. The Devil card is like very... I feel like it's the Devil card, actually, this martyrdom. Like, I do so much and get so little. Oh. And I'm just like, shut up. I just have no sympathy for that energy. I don't know why. It's pathetic. I'm not into it. The World card is saying that's a result of this Tower. It's coming forward. The World is like coming forward. Like, things fell in. You know what I mean? The World is saying, like, the World is coming forward because of the Tower. Like, things fell in. But because of this ridiculousness, and this is beyond you. This is something that's already a part of this situation. Because of this ridiculousness, it's like it's dead and it's just, like, laying there. It's like things are just all scattered all over the place. The Tower is just all strewn all over the place. And nothing's being done to correct anything just yet because there's this martyrdom going on here. And there's people arguing and people trying to create new starts. But I feel like there's been a couple false starts here. I'm getting the Three of Wands. Like, people are actively trying to move things forward. People are actively trying to get things back up and running. Seems like it's failing. I feel like that's the Devil card again. Like that. It's not... That Devil card seems to keep coming back. That might be attributed to that same energy. Kind of like, oh, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I feel that there's this martyrdom going on here. The Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands, are they here? Is that what I have here? I thought I had the Queen of Wands. Yep, the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Now, fire and air are conducive energies. They do tend, not always, but they tend to get along. You know, action and communication seem to be complementing unless they're working against each other. So... And I'm noticing they're bookends here. You got the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. They're like bookends. They're just giving you a heads up, like, be aware that this ridiculousness is going on outside of you. I feel like you have no control over this. They're just like, be aware of this. Just be aware of this ridiculousness. Okay, especially that, like, you know, I do so much, I get so little. Whatever. Just be aware of that, too, because that's not a friend to anybody, is what I'm getting. So... When you're coming into this, you're coming in with the masculine and the pleasure. Okay, so I like this energy. Don't get caught up in the gender, but it's saying that you're coming forward with like this stability. Like, all right, I'm here because I believe in this situation. I'm here because we're going to make this work. I'm here because we're going to pick up these pieces. We're going to pick up the pieces. We're going to fix this tower. We're going to rebuild it the right way, and then we're going to have something we can actually work with. And you're coming into this with strength. You're also coming into this with pleasure. Like, you're seeing, like, just going to take some work. It's going to take some work, but you're not afraid of work. And you're like, you know what? These people are going to have to get together, and we're going to have to work together. We're going to have to make this happen. Pleasure on your side is like, this is fixable. This is doable. You just got to get your hands into it. It's going to work. The pleasure on your side is because you believe in this situation. You're getting a lot of gratitude here from what you're coming into. Be aware of that martyrdom, though. If you're experiencing that, they're like, that's a friend to no one. I do so much, I get so little. If literally if somebody has said that, like, be on the guard for that. Just be aware of it. Watch it carefully. That's not a good energy. I do so much, I get so little. It's driving me mad. I just keep hearing it in my head. I do so much, I get so little. Get out of here. The Six of Swords is coming in, the Fear card, and the Four of Cups. Now, this is just when you're entering, okay? Like, you believe in the situation. You know what I mean? You got that pleasure card, like, we just got to get our hands dirty. I'm going to get my hands dirty. We're going to get this fixed. We're going to do something. The Fear is kind of like, it's a little bit of the unknown. Like, you're seeing some of the ruins of the tower, let's put it that way, some of the aftermath of the tower, and part of your brain is going, wait a minute, how did that happen? Like, the tower fell this way. Like, if this is the base of the tower, it fell this way. And you got a bunch of, like, debris over here, and you're like, wait, if it fell that way, why is all this stuff over here? What's that about? And some of it just doesn't add up to you. It just kind of, like, makes you a little uneasy. Like, something here just doesn't quite add up. That's the Fear. The Six of Swords with the Four of Cups is kind of like a combination of people just kind of washing their hands. You probably are asking some certain questions, trying to understand why the last tower fell. Because if you know why the last tower fell, that you could safeguard against those repeat problems. You know, that's why you would want that information. This is rational. That's rational. But the Six of Swords is like, people are like, oh, I don't know. They don't want to be implicated in any problems because there was some foolery going on with that, is what I'm getting. The Four of Cups, I feel like that might be more you, but you're probably dealing with that energy too. Kind of like, all right, you know, I'm not getting all the answers, but I can't waste time just trying, wishing, and hoping and praying because some of these people just aren't working with me. Some people just don't want to answer the questions. And you're having to move forward. You're just kind of like, all right, whatever. Let's just keep moving forward. I'm not going to sit here and just try to find wishful answers because you know certain people are just lying to your face. I feel like you know that right off the bat. Like, certain people are just lying to your face, trying to make themselves look better than they actually were, and you're getting that like in 2 seconds. Like, I see you. Whatever. Keep moving. I don't need to hear your stories because I know they're just stories. So you're just kind of moving away from that energy, and you're like, all right, Six of Swords energy on that. Moving on. Let's just get it fixed. Let's just start putting it together because I'm not going to get the correct information anyway. And if people are just going to be telling me stories, why waste my time? Moving on. Okay. People like that a little bit. I'm still feeling that martyrdom. I'm still feeling it. I don't want to, but I am. Still, that's still definitely a piece of this. This is something you're going to have to deal with. If this is hitting, you're definitely going to have to deal with that energy. You got the extremes, assessing, and then you got sovereignty. I'm still feeling that energy. And literally, I keep hearing it. Like, I do so much, I get so little. Like, I feel people, like, there's people, like, saying, oh, I've tried so hard. Oh, I did everything I could. Like, people want you to feel, like, you know, sympathy for them. Or just like, oh, I'm so blessed you're here. Like, it's just... Like, the martyr, like, they're trying to make you feel like, oh, you know, you're so lucky that I'm here. You know, I hope that makes sense. Like, it's not you, it's them. They want people to, like, fall over on themselves. Like, the martyr showed up, and you're like, oh, you're here, thankfully. Oh, thank God, now everything can be okay. There's this weird energy. I just keep feeling it. And the assessing and the sovereignty, like, people are trying to cover their tracks, too. Something about the way that tower fell... I feel like a couple people dropped the ball. I don't feel like it's right that that happened to begin with. Like, something about the failure, the last failure, it's like, it shouldn't have been as bad as it was. It shouldn't have been as bad as it was. And I'm getting the assessing the sovereignty is like people are just kind of keeping an eye out and they don't want certain things to come to light. They know where they made missteps. They know how they contributed to that tower. It's almost like they kicked it over themselves. Like they helped it fall over. And that's not okay. The assessing with the sovereignty is like they don't want people to see that. And they're just trying to keep an eye on you to make sure you don't figure it out. If you figure it out or not, I don't see you pursuing it either due to lack of proof or kind of like it's just not going to come to a good end. So you're kind of like, you might be aware of it, but there's like, just be aware of this weird energy because there's like a faulty energy here. It's almost like a faulty part of the system. Realize there's a problem there. If you're able to get a hold of it and see it, you might be able to work around it or safeguard against it if you can really see it for what it is. And I'm getting your focus is getting a little sharper at this point. There's a lot of foolery here. It's really annoying. They're saying you don't need to play into it. You probably won't. Probably not. I mean, everybody's different. Yeah, it's your free will if you're going to or not. I'm not really feeling it. But just be kind of aware of the people and who's talking and who's putting on more of a show than actually making a difference. Just kind of be like, don't put your head completely in the sand about it. Listen a little bit, pay attention a little bit. You don't want to play into it, of course, but like listen a little bit just so you can see who's putting on the biggest show and who's aiding that show. You know what I mean? Who's putting on the show and who's supporting it. You want to just keep that in the back of your head just so you're like, okay, that's the one with all the drama and these people are supporting that. Okay, I got to keep that in the back of my head. You're not going to play into it. I don't really feel like you're going to play into it, but just keep it in your memory banks. Now, you don't have time for the foolery. I'm just like, there's things to be done here. You don't have time for it. So you got the Ace of Coins coming in. I think Virgo had this too, quite frankly. And I've said it for Virgo, and I'll say it here too. Earth being reinforced with the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles, that's the Ace of Earth. You know what I mean? This is great for you. Stable plan. You have a big piece of this. It's going the way you feel it should. You're supporting it. You're stabilizing it. This is a great start. This is exactly the way you need it to start. This is like a solid, this is something you can stand behind. All right. So getting this tower re-erected. Okay, good. Yes, that's the way it should go. This is safeguarded with that. This will reinforce that. We're going to do this slowly. We're going to do it correctly. We're going to make sure we use the proper building materials. Cool beans, all good. In the environment, you got beauty with peace. When you center on correcting it and moving forward with the correct path, this is what we're going to do to fix it. This is how we're going to handle it. Let's keep moving forward. If you didn't create the plan, you're definitely aiding it. One of the two, if not both. When you're centered on the let's fix it, let's get things going correctly, when you're centered on that energy, this other drama-filled fearing, whatever is going on, this ridiculousness, seems to subside, seems to kind of quiet down and buckle down and do what they're supposed to. Still, keep your eye out for this. It just makes me feel uncomfortable, kind of like, just be aware of it. As long as it's in the back of your mind, you'll be fine. Because you just want to keep your eye on certain things. That's all I'm getting from it. Things keep going forward. These people are who they are. And, sometimes you just don't like to deal with them, but I also feel like they have a purpose in the situation. I feel like this is nothing new to a Taurus. I feel like this is nothing new to most of us, quite frankly. There's just people that you have to deal with that you probably don't like to. It is what it is. So you're kind of playing nice. As long as things keep moving forward, you can smile and nod where you have to. You're not looking to make issues of things. It seems like you're in this balance mode. I feel like you're just kind of putting up with certain people. You're putting up with certain people. That's the best I could get with that balance. Because I don't feel like there's a problem. I just feel like when I'm feeling balanced, there's just certain personalities that you're just kind of like, I could do without. But I don't need to ruffle feathers, so I'll smile and nod and do what I need to do just so we're all on the same happy page. Keep things going. when you play into it, like, I don't want to say you're playing into it, but you're just kind of like, okay, yep, that's fine, yep, we're good. I'm getting, like, you're getting the Lover's card with the protection. The Lover's card in this situation is like people are feeling secure. They're feeling like you're not going to bother them, like you're not going to call them out. Maybe you don't even know what they've done. Maybe you do. Whether you do or you don't, you're not pointing anything out. You're not trying to unearth anything. You're not trying to, like, dig into the past. They're feeling protected. The Lover's card is kind of like passing the test. Everybody's getting along. I mean, take it with a grain of salt for whatever you're dealing with, but I'm getting like everybody's happy. You're happy, they're happy. We're all dealing with what we have to deal with. Okay. Something else outside of, like, there's you. This is like Capricorn. This part's like Capricorn. There's you. There's the situation. There's something over here, like, knocking on the door saying, wait a minute. How come things are working this time? Why is it okay? Why? Because there's somebody from the... It's like somebody's looking at this like, wait, no, this is how we did that last time. Why is it working this time, and why didn't it work before? Somebody's bringing forth questions. And I'm getting that with self-love. And I know that may seem strange for this, but it's kind of like I'm feeling these webs. Like, there's webs around this person. To me, it looks like webs. Which is kind of like people talking, people questioning, people saying, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Like the black lips especially, like that to me is people speaking the harsh truth. Like, wait a minute, let's look at the harsh truth of this. Let's look at the... Wait. Why is this working this time and we did it the same way last time and it failed last time, but why is it okay now? Like, why? This energy's coming in. It's not coming for you. It's not. But it's coming after other people. Like somebody... It's almost like, for some people, I feel like it might be an insurance thing. Like maybe an insurance firm is questioning things, or like maybe upper management or somebody outside the situation. Like somebody's questioning, like, wait a minute, why are things okay now? It's not coming for you. But what I'm getting here is like it's causing some like uneasiness here with the Nine of Swords, and I see like you trying to figure out like, wait a minute, that's a good question. Like that makes sense. Like, to you, the first thought is, wait, this is how you guys did it before? Like, what did go wrong? And the discernment is kind of like, you're trying to, like, wait a minute, if this, like, that doesn't make sense. If you did this last time, and it's working now, but it, like, why did it fail before? And you're also like, wait a minute, that is a problem. Like, why? Wait a minute, why? Exactly, why? Why did it fail last time, and why does it look like it's going to succeed this time? Something doesn't add up. You're not okay with this. Discernment is kind of like, I want this answer too. That's you saying, I want this answer too. Like, what went wrong before? We need to know. There's a little uneasiness here. There's a little uneasiness here is probably an understatement. You're not happy because you're like, wait a minute, is there a faulty piece to this that I'm not aware of? What's the issue? What's the problem? Because that doesn't make sense. You're not okay with this. You're like, wait a minute, what do you mean this is the same way it was before? Because it failed before. I'm not looking to create another failure. I need to know why it failed before. And you want those answers. And discernment is like, I need these answers. You need to tell me what actually went wrong. It's going to come out in the wash. It has nothing to do with you. I feel like when I'm seeing the Five of Pentacles, it's like something you can't... There's nothing you can do to correct somebody else's mistake. And I feel the Five of Pentacles kind of like you're on the outside of something and you're watching somebody have... There's a problem here. There's a big problem. The Eight of Swords is telling me somebody's trapped. Somebody's going to get called out for what they did. Somebody's going to be, like, the mole is going to be sniffed out. How do I put this? Like, they're going to catch the rat. I guess that's the best way to put it. They're going to find out who caused what and why it happened because it's going to come forward. The Five of Pentacles, I feel like this is mostly because, not because you're unhappy with the situation itself, like the technical parts, but you're kind of questioning, or you're kind of like, I wish I didn't get involved with this. It's kind of that energy. It's kind of like, oh, if I had known in the beginning what was really the problem, I probably wouldn't have gotten this deep into it. I wouldn't have invested my time here if I knew these type of problems were here, because it's people problems. I feel like it's people problems. I really do. And it's realizing like what you're really dealing with here. you're a part of the corrective energy. You're a part of the healing energy. You're improving what's going on here. You're giving this situation a chance to literally heal and get better. It's important for you to be here. I just feel like once you realize what actually happened, you're not happy. You're like, if I had known that, I would never have invested my time here. I wouldn't have done it. You're not happy. There's certain people here you're not happy with. You're kind of like, well, I knew this was a problem. I knew that was a problem, but I had no idea it was like that. Something about this, you're like, you're a little, I don't want to say shocked, but you're kind of like, you didn't believe it was that bad. You're kind of like, well, I knew that one was an issue, but I didn't realize there was that much of an issue. It's very good that you're here. It's kind of like the universe is saying, no, it's good that you're here. You need to be here. You're giving the situation a chance to literally turn around. You probably aren't going to like being there as much, but it's purposeful. It's kind of like the universe is saying, we put you here for a purpose, so this situation would have a chance. It's actually good that you're here. You just might be questioning if you really like being there after you find out the truth. Because you're like, no, I didn't realize it was like that. I never knew it was like that, and if I had known, I wouldn't have done this. It has to all come out in the wash. Once you find out what's happened, there's going to be a lot of restructuring is what I'm getting. Like, the devil's going to have its due. I guess that makes sense. Whoever did whatever they did, they're going to have to pay for it. You have nothing to do with that. It's more about watching and seeing what happened and what went down. And it's like there's going to be this weird cleanup effort. I don't know. It's important that you're there. It's very important that you're there. You're not going to like it. I'm getting the Five of Pentacles, kind of like, I don't like this. It's kind of like having that weird stomach ache, like, oh, I don't like being a part of this. Hold on, because I feel like this is going to be one of those moments where you look back a year or two from now, and you're like, that was a very dark moment, but we've come a long way from there, and it's gotten a lot better. So it's very purposeful. It's very good that you're a part of this. I just feel like there's going to be this moment where you're just kind of like, you're disgusted. You're disgusted with whatever you have to deal with. You're like literally disgusted with some of it. But they're saying, just hold on. A year or two after this, you're going to look back like that was a very dark moment. But you've come a long way since then, and you've really made a difference. So it's worth it. It is worth it that you're here. It is worth it. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.